When the nurse said, "Your wife canceled your daughter's surgery a month ago," I felt like someone punched me in the stomach. I froze right there at the hospital desk. That's impossible. My daughter texted me last night saying she was scared about tomorrow and asking if I'd be there when she woke up. The nurse looked confused and a little worried. "Sir, I'm showing here that the mother called September 12th and canceled the procedure for Ivy Brennan." I pulled out my phone and showed her the messages. "Dad, I'm really nervous about the surgery. What if something goes wrong?" Sent last night at 9:47 p.m. The nurse's face went completely white. She grabbed her phone and made a call, talking really fast and quiet. Another nurse came down 30 seconds later and pulled up everything on her tablet. She scrolled through it, and her expression went from confused to absolutely terrified. "Oh my God. Your daughter's test results from last week are critical. She should have had this surgery a month ago. Where is she right now?" I was already halfway to the exit. "She's at her mom's house this week." The nurse called after me. "Sir, we need to contact Child Protective Services immediately. If your daughter is this sick and someone canceled her treatment on purpose, that's serious abuse. Call whoever you need to, but I'm getting my daughter right now." I tried calling my ex-wife from the parking lot, straight to voicemail. I sent her 3 texts demanding to know what was going on. Nothing. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold my phone. I called her office and the receptionist told me she called in sick today. Something was really, really wrong. I sat in my car trying to think, and then I remembered she had been acting strange the past few months. Always stressed about money, always on her phone, getting defensive when I asked basic questions about Ivy's medical updates. I logged into the bank account we still shared for Ivy's medical expenses. My stomach dropped when I saw the balance. It was drained. I scrolled through the transaction history and saw withdrawal after withdrawal over the past 3 months. I checked my credit monitoring app and my blood went cold. It showed she'd taken out $60,000 in personal loans. Every instinct in my body was screaming that something horrible was happening. I broke every traffic law getting to my ex-wife's house. When Ivy answered the door, I almost collapsed right there. She looked so sick. She'd lost so much weight and her skin looked gray and she was moving like everything hurt. "Hey, sweetheart, I brought you some stuff for after your surgery tomorrow." She looked confused and so tired. "What do you mean tomorrow?" Mom said. "We have to wait until next month now. The doctors wanted me to get stronger first." My stomach dropped, but I kept my voice calm. "When did she tell you that?" "This morning. She said you knew about it." "Where did your mom go?" Ivy swayed and grabbed the door frame. She said she had errands, but she took a suitcase. My heart started pounding. I pushed past her and grabbed her overnight bag. "We're going to the hospital right now." On the way out, I saw her mom's laptop and a small notebook. Something told me to grab those too. In the car, I called the cops and told them my daughter was really sick and her other parent canceled her surgery without telling me and I needed help. The emergency room took Ivy straight back the second we arrived. A doctor came out 20 minutes later and his face was grave. "Your daughter is going into emergency surgery immediately. Her organs are starting to fail. Another day or two and we would have lost her. Whoever canceled that surgery nearly killed her." While they prepped Ivy for surgery, I opened the laptop. The browser history made me want to throw up. Dozens of searches for wrongful death settlements, medical malpractice payouts, how to sue hospitals for negligence. There were emails to 5 different lawyers asking about taking on a case. Then I opened the notebook and my hands started shaking with pure rage. She'd been writing everything down about Ivy getting sicker, but not like a worried mom, like she was collecting proof. One part said, "Told her the surgery got moved so she won't panic. Getting worse super fast like I thought. This is gonna look really bad for the hospital when we sue." The police arrived just as my ex-wife walked into the hospital. When she saw them, her mouth dropped open. "What's happening?" One of the cops walked up to her. "We need to ask you about canceling your daughter's surgery last month and about these emails to lawyers and what's written in this journal." She went pale. "I have no idea what you're talking about. I never canceled anything." I cut her off before she could keep lying. "You've been lying to Ivy for weeks while she got sicker." The other detective pulled out printed copies of her emails. "In one of them, you told a lawyer the sicker she gets, the more money we can get." She completely fell apart. "You don't understand. I was protecting her. I was making sure we had documentation in case something went wrong." The first detective stopped her. "We have your financial records. You withdrew your daughter's medical funds and took out over $60,000 in loans. Your bank shows over $200,000 in gambling losses. You were going to sit there and let your daughter die so you could sue the hospital for wrongful death and collect a settlement." My ex-wife started crying, but it looked fake and desperate. The detective put handcuffs on her. "You packed a suitcase and were leaving town while your daughter went into organ failure. That's attempted murder." They arrested her right there in the hospital. Ivy made it through the emergency surgery.